Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Elite Sterzo Smart electronic steering plate. With the rapid expansion of immersive virtual training software, indoor cycling has seen a large rise in popularity. As people spend more time cycling indoors, a variety of training accessories have been developed to make it feel more realistic and more fun. Today we'll be looking at the Elite Sterzo Smart Steering plate, which replaces a traditional plastic wheel block with an electronic steering plate that allow you virtually steer in Zwift. You can see packaging is very simple. This is a nice green packaging we've seen with a lot of newer companies. So just cardboard, nothing flashy. It's all printed directly on there with minimal colors. You can see it's pretty much a holder for the block, nice sturdy cardboard box. All the information here in multiple languages on the back side with the indicators of the max width, which is 66 millimeters. Basic installation and what it looks like when you steer. So we'll go ahead and take it out of the box and go over the specs. Retail price on this is $124.99. They also offer a non-smart version for $64.99, which requires a separate app that needs to be calibrated. With this one, everything is all in one, so you don't have to do any assembly. You just connect and you can ride. It has 34 degrees of rotation in each direction, which is pretty impressive, so pretty applicable to normal riding. It exclusively works with Zwift for their virtual steering, which is now available on almost all their tracks. It has 3 AAA batteries pre-installed already on here with a claimed 500-hour battery runtime. And it has double connection, so you have ANT and Bluetooth if you want to connect it to the companion app and Zwift. In terms of what comes with it, that's about it. You get the steering block, little instruction manual, and really nice packaging. So you can see it holds it in place really well and shows you everything you need with the installation indicators right on here. Now let's take a look at the weight of the block. Now you'll probably have to carry this over to your bike unless you have a little dedicated area. Despite all the electronics and everything, it's still pretty light. So you can see it's 1,040 grams. Now let's take a look at the fit and finish of the Elite Sterzo Smart. Now with this model, everything is well integrated in here. You don't need a separate app or anything else. It's a all-in-one unit with the batteries pre-installed. So literally no assembly, you just take it out of the box and then you're ready to use it. You have the block itself and you're supposed to orient it this way with the triangle pointing toward your bike. And you can see it's pivoted on the front. And if you peek underneath it, you can see it's pivoted right there. And then there's these 2 little wheels on there that actually walk along the grooves of the actual block. So it's all plastic and spring loaded. You can see when I let go, pops back into place. And you want to position the wheel right in the center so it goes back. So nice design. You don't get any real feedback, but it does want to return to center. You have Elite branding on the side, same gray design. Little rubber blocks here. So when you try to go beyond the 34 degrees, it'll actually prevent you from doing that. You have an LED indicator here, so no power buttons here. When you want to use it, you simply jump on it, wake it up by just moving it. After 5 minutes, if it doesn't detect any movement, it will automatically shut off. The LED indicators here are a little bit cryptic, but you can see right now it's searching for a connection. Green indicates the battery is good. Eventually this will go red blinking after about 500 hours of use, or go solid blue if it's actually connected to your Zwift. Underneath it, you have the battery holder here, which doesn't fit all that well, but it comes pre-installed. Kind of surprising to see standard batteries instead of a USB rechargeable device though. You have rubber foots here. So the rubber feet help it from moving around when you're steering. And then it raises it up off the ground as well, as some initial reviews of this were indicating it was actually rusting just from water sitting underneath it. So you can see everything's raised up a little bit and holds its place really well. Now let's get the Sterzo set up. You can see it's really simple. There's no buttons or anything. All you need to do is position it under your front wheel. And you want to position the wheel directly in the center of the wheel block. And once you've done that, when you rotate, it will just translate to rotation and won't remove the actual bottom of the Sterzo. Setting it up on Zwift is equally easy. You just click the button, and if you've already moved it around a little bit, it should be awake and looking to pair. Once it's actually paired, you'll see that little number in the bottom right corner, which shows you your current steering angle, which confirms that you have it correct. You can see here, it's a little bit negative, That's why they offer the calibration option. So the calibration option just takes your current position and uses that at 0. So there's no really interactive feature here. You just press the button. Once you say OK, you can see now my 0, instead of being -2, is actually 0. And everything is based off that. So really easy to do. Now, if you want to ride on Zwift, you can pick any track. Unlike their initial release of the steering capability, which was limited to only one track, this is extended to every world and every map. And you can see you can rotate back and forth, and it does feel more interactive, especially on these windy roads here. It's a little bit more fun. Now, you're very limited to what you can do, though. You can only stay within your lane. You're not supposed to be able to cross the center line, but you can see on some corners, the way the maps are set up, you can kind of go over it. But otherwise, you're limited within the lane. The only real things you can do here is optimize your draft line. So if you want to drop people who are trying to draft you, you can steer away from them. Or you can use the steering to kind of route through people. You can't ride through people just like with any other Zwift feature. So it would have been nice if they added more capability here. It seems like they sort of half implemented, unlike Grand Theft Auto or more open world experiences where you can really explore. With this one, you're just stuck within your lane. You can't even change lines, change routes at intersections, which seems a little bit disappointing. You still have to use the companion app. So although it is fun, we often found ourselves forgetting about the steering and just defaulting to the default lines and letting Zwift do the rest and focusing on the workout. Now let's do a little comparison between the Sterzo Smart block versus a standard wheel block. Here we have their Elite plastic block. You can see pretty much cutouts inside it. You have the wheel block itself, and that raises it so everything is nice and straight. If you compare these very similar designs with the new Sterzo, they've actually made it a little more compatible, so you can see it's wider in terms of the profile. So this will do 66, while the previous ones were limited to about 56. You can see it makes up its height with the bottom plate as well. So the block portion itself is thinner than your standard block, but then this adds a little bit height to it. Otherwise, same standard gray color with the Elite branding on there. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Sterzo Smart. What you like about it is that it's seamless pairing, and it's really easy to set up. All you have to do is wake it up by steering in one direction, and you're essentially ready to use it. It has a spring-loaded design that also returns the center, which is pretty convenient, so you're not stuck turning in one direction. And it does make Zwift a bit more interactive, as not only do you have gradient changes, but you can also steer around. Some of the cons for the Sterzo is the fact that it's quite expensive, and the steering doesn't actually change your routes at intersections, which seems like a really easy thing Zwift should have included. And finally, it lacks force feedback for more realism, which would have been a really nice feature because otherwise you're just steering within your lane. Adding some kind of rumble effect like you'd see in a PlayStation or other gaming devices would have been a really nice upgrade. Taking everything into account, we'd give the Sterzo Smart an 8.3 out of 10. It's a nice interactive indoor training tool. We just feel like they haven't really used the full potential of the device, as you're kind of limited to what you can do with it currently. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.